Alright, we are where the Milwaukee Road crossed the Green Bay and Western on the kind of west side of Green Bay here. This is looking southeast towards the Milwaukee Roads, where their yard used to be. I think it might have been called the Ashland Yard or Washington. No, Washington I think is on the east side. Anyways, came in from the southeast here and crossed right around here. It was an automatic interlocker from way back. I do remember the signals around here. Of course, I never saw really a train come through here. And this is looking west on the Green Bay and Western, which is still there. This is the Howard industrial lead. There's some storage tracks right there. My aunt and uncle used to live down there a little ways, and the trains used to switch the storage tracks pretty regularly. Some circuits there. I don't know if they're from a crossing or from probably a crossing, that crossing down the other way there. So the diamonds were right in here. It was automatic interlock protected, and this is looking east towards the Fox River and their yards. Alright, this is the west end of the Milwaukee yard. This is heading northwest out of Green Bay, and down here is where the leads into the yard used to come. Here are now this was used as a intermodal facility by the Wisconsin Central or the Fox Valley at one point. This is the lead into the old yard. There's Ashland Avenue in the distance there. The old Milwaukee Road yards in Green Bay. Alright, it's Oakland Avenue. The yard offices used to be right in there, the depot. And this is where the yards were at. That's Oakland. No, that's Ashland Avenue right there. This was Oakland. And when originally the station I think was on Washington, and then they had to come in and back out and so forth, so they got rid of that and they started serving the passengers over here at the freight yard offices, or the freight depot. So this is the old Milwaukee Road yards. Later on it was Wisconsin Central intermodal around here. I think it ended maybe in the CN days, but not sure. Alright, we're at Tavel. Tavel is where the Milwaukee Road and the Chicago Northwestern used to cross. The diamond was right somewhere in this general area. I believe that's the shanty that stood there, that's been torn down and fell apart. This is looking north towards Green Bay, so it's like the Northwestern Depot in downtown Green Bay. This is looking south towards where the line to Sheboygan used to cut off, or Manitowoc and Sheboygan used to cut off, the shoreline and the valley line would split here. But this and back here is where the Milwaukee tracks yards were. Now there was tracks between like the Green Bay and Western and the Northwestern that came around here like this, and then the Milwaukee kind of cut through here and curved around a little bit. But this is Tavel and Green Bay, and one of the old crossings. The old Wisconsin Central Limited Intermodal sign is still here. Alright, we're in Green Bay, Wisconsin at the Washington Street Milwaukee Road Depot. Yesterday we were up by Oakland Avenue, which is where the freight house was. Not the freight house, but the freight depot, which became the passenger depot at a certain point. But early on, this was where the depot was for the Milwaukee Road, or this is the depot for the early Milwaukee Road passenger service. It is at Washington and Crooks Street in Green Bay on the east side. The Fox River is right in the background here. Oh, look it, there's a bunny rabbit. Second one I've seen this morning. Hello, bunny. Oh, you don't have to run. All right, Milwaukee Road Depot. Back when the Packers traveled exclusively by train, there were welcomed home here at the Milwaukee Road Depot by throngs of joyous fans after clinching 3 of the 6 NFL championships they won under Curly Lambeau. The celebration took place after the Packers captured league titles in 31, 36, and 39. The legend band entertained the gathered in 1931 by playing On Wisconsin and Go You Packers in 1936. The crowd was estimated at 10,000 in the 1939 homecoming was followed by a parade down Washington Street with lumberjack band setting the pace. The Packers also departed from here on the longest road trip in their history. On November 10th, 1932, they left at 7 a.m. on the Milwaukee Road train that took them as far as Chicago. They switched rail lines 3 times before arriving in Boston more than 32 hours later. And all the Packers were on the road for 32 days and played 6 games. After returning home, they hit the road again with the 48 hours for the postseason barnstorming trip. Lambeau and 17 players departed from here on December 13, 1932, and they were gone for nearly 2 months. They played 2 exhibitions in Hawaii and 2 on the West Coast. The Milwaukee Road Depot was built in 1898, and the last train pulled out of here on January 15th, 1958. So they moved over to the other west side depot, which we looked at yesterday, in 1958. In January of 58, oh, there's another rabbit. Rabbits everywhere. So this is the depot. Oh, scared him the other way. Oh well. Nothing. Oh, there's another one. It's like Rabbit City around here. Nothing identifies this as specifically Milwaukee Road, which is maybe a little disappointing, but probably not unrealistic. I'll go around to the front side and see if we see any signage. I don't think there is, but we'll give it a shot. We'll take a quick look over here. There's your Fox River. Hi, bunny rabbit. Yeah, see there's no station markers, although there probably wouldn't be one at the north end because there was really no train line. So let's take a look at the south end and see if we find anything. Yeah, there's 2 tugboats, kind of neat looking. Yeah, this has been extensively redone. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, no sign, just an owl. Oh well, it's worth a look. All right, this is the back side, or it would have been the front side, the track side of the depot, obviously. All right, Milwaukee Road's original depot in Green Bay, or at least the 1898 on depot, 1898 to 1958 depot in Green Bay here. They would have to come in and then back out to go further north. That's probably one of the reasons they close this and move to the west side. The west side depot is basically in a freight yard and in the neighborhood, so a lot less conducive to bringing passenger traffic. All right, let's look around a little more. Hopefully we'll catch a train this morning. All right. All right, and here we are at the Milwaukee Bridge over the Fox River. As you can see, it's gone. There is, I'm gonna go with those piers, I believe they would be referred to as, are going to be from the original bridge. Looks like they got rid of it. You know, obviously went straight across over there to the right of that big building. And but these are the original piers. So that's, I'm gonna, not maybe the original, but you know, the piers that were on this bridge for a long time. It had a swing. I believe it's referred to as a swing bridge, you know, which was somewhere out there, but where exactly I'd have to look at the mapping or aerial photos of it. But this is the Milwaukee, the old Milwaukee Bridge over the Fox River. What's left of it, still some piers on a deck that got closed off, but it's kind of interesting. Till I came down here and explored, I didn't know that. All right, unfortunately the pier is off limits, but you can see the tracks used to run straight that way across the river towards the west side, towards Oakland Avenue yards. That was the name of them, the yards in Milwaukee, or the Milwaukee Road yards in Green Bay here. Alright, we're about where the switch for the line that went up to the Washington Street station and the line across the Fox River split. Somewhere right in here is where that was at. Looking back here, this is heading south towards the pier, eventually Milwaukee. Heading this way where the trail follows, so kind of veering to the right there is to Washington and the industries on the east side. Heading to the left over here is where the line comes around where the line comes around and goes across the bridge, or used to go across the bridge. So this is where the Milwaukee switch was, or the Green Bay switch probably was what they called it, just a guess. Something to that effect. So, all right, looking around where the Milwaukee Road split and went across the Fox River.